I'm Phill Brown, I'm a sound engineer and sometimes producer, and I've been working for the past 40 years in the music business. I started back at Olympic in 1967, and as a tape op assistant managed to get to work with Jimi Hendrix and Rolling Stones, Arthur Brown, the Small Faces. It was a fantastic learning experience, and then joined Ireland in 1970 and spent 6 years there as a house engineer and worked with Bob Marley and Led Zeppelin, Jeff Beck, John Martin, Robert Palmer. So a great period in the 70s really, especially with Robert Palmer and going out to America working with the Meters and Little Feat and people like that. Went freelance in 76, and I guess, what have I done? Through the 80s it was mainly Talk I suppose that I'll be remembered for, but I also worked with China Crisis and King and a lot of the pop stuff that was around. The 90s, I suppose, Faithless, more Talk, Dido, and the last 10 years, Beth Gibbons from Portishead did a solo album, which was very fine. Robert Plant, and more recently, the Bombay Bicycle Club. When I started Olympic, it was 4-track technology. That was the peak of the technology. Multi-track was 4 tracks. So I came in at the end of that and kind of learnt the process. It's very difficult making stereo records on a 4-track, or records generally on a 4-track. And then it went through the 8-track, 16, so I think it was a great time to join the whole circus in a way. But it changed a lot. The biggest change for me, I guess if you talk to somebody from 1962, they'd think that the biggest change was 1970 with 24-track. But I think the biggest change in the 80s when digital came out, and we were using digital drum machines and gear instead of musicians. I suppose that was the biggest change. The next big they're always technical advancements that make it all change around, and in the last 10 years it's been computer desks, Pro Tools, or equivalent software. So people are working on laptops in their bedroom, I suppose, which is why a lot of studios are having problems. But I think the technology has always brought the changes. But for me personally, I don't think you can beat 5 musicians, in a room creating something. It's a completely different process in a way. So yes, you can make modern pop records on a laptop, but they're almost, for me personally, they're all too clean and just too good. They shouldn't be quite so in tune and so in time. It's not real, and I'm very much into kind of real sounds. So I still love working with tape and working with musicians.